Okay, so this video is not going to be focusing on Rel, the Iron Maiden, even though that's, a torture device. But whatever. Okay, well, it is going to be. I lied. I have lied already. It is going to be focused, but it's really not going to be focused on her abilities. In my opinion, it's going to be focused on why this is stupid. Why League of Legends. It's kind of reiterating one of the thing, a video I made a while back, where I brought up the fact that older champions and League of Legends just need a giant overhaul, because they already overhauled the items, and that was honestly great. Like I love the items right now. There is a few things I think is problematic, but honestly, that problematicness could just be resorted to or could be placed on to the fact that the champions are really old. Because I said the old champions need an overhaul. Like Garen, Annie, these are champions that are just really outdated. Like I was saying, how Gnar really doesn't have a mythic that he needs to build. He has the Divine Sunderer, and I guess he could build Trinity Force, but besides that, there's not a single other item he could build. That, like, Rek'Sai is supposed to build assassin items, and the tank items are good on her, but not. I would say that honestly are pretty good on her, but just tank is overall broken right now. And there are just champions out there that really don't have, I would say, an exact item for them. Now, originally I was putting Kayle as one of these champions, but then my friend showed me that Riftmaker apparently works pretty well on Kayle. But yet again, their like mage items were all mages, whether it was a tank mage or a normal mage, like Cho'Gath. Cho'Gath has to build one of the three items, and the only one that I would say is even remotely good on it is Chemtank. Besides that, the other two were like, you have to auto attack, which Cho'Gath does, but not consistently like that. So it's just kind of like mediocre on him. When if you had a tank AP item, instead of just having a mage item, like the closest you could really get is Liandry's. Oh my god. And here's why I think, like, if you bring up some of these champions, which I know, like, you're going to kind of see it in the background, or you bring up the newer champions, some of these champions, you'll notice a lot more, I'm going to say, like, ingenuity of them. Let's show everybody. Like, you have a dash. You can pull multiple people, has a shield, has movement speed, has a knock-up and a dash, and kind of. Executes multiple different play styles, dashes out the wazoo. Champions that are like reworked, like Kali, that can literally dash 2 to 3 times and have multiple different abilities, and Kayn, who can walk through walls, and you'll look at these newer champions and you'll see some of the shit they can do. Like Camille can dash twice, has true damage, has healing, has shields, has increased damage, has invulnerability. Same thing with Kled, like has invulnerability. Like now some of them aren't really played as much as you'll see, like Aurelion Sol, Kled, Ivern. You never really see them. But Kayn and Pyke are kind of broken right now. Sylas is kind of broken. Aphelios is not broken, but if you get the right Aphelios, he'll walk through your entire team. Where, you'll see these champions, but yet again, there are 140, so it's not like you're going to see them every game. And then just scroll down. Scroll down for a little while. Okay. Got Zilean. You can throw an AoE bomb that can stun and increase or decrease speed, plus reset his own abilities or save your life, with the Czar. And, they're definitely, like, some of them are very ingenuitive and very new, and it is pretty flashy, like, Pantheon or Poppy. But yet again, these are champions that were reworked pretty reasonably, like, reasonably near. Mordekaiser, honestly, he was reworked, but his kit is extremely simple. So I don't really think they did the best job in the world with him. Nasus, he just queues over and over again. That's about all I got. For the main frame of his kit, it's always the same. He just walks at you and he queues and he farms, and eventually he'll one-shot you while still being a tank. Or Heimerdinger, where he places darts and then shoots rockets or throws his little bomb that can stun or slow. Garen is probably the most bare-bone basic champion the world has ever seen, where he just runs at you faster with his Q and just Mundo again. Just like Annie is probably honestly also one of the most bare-bone basics. Where you get these older champions that can't do all these crazy, insane things. And then you get the champions that are reworked, that just have all the shit and more. Like, just look at all the different things they do. Like, they'll do percent max HP. They'll do extra damage to shields. They'll dash around. They'll heal off this. They can stun off those. They can stun multiple people with this. They can... There's just more and more to their kit. And every champion's kit is just becoming more and more overloaded. Like... I saw a video with Yone. It was like, what's the issue with Yone? And he's like 20 other champions in one. Where like his passive is literally just quirky passive, but better. His Q is just Yasuo Q that allows him to go in. His W is just a shield that does both AP and AD. His E is literally just a Z ult, but better. And his ult is literally just a go in button that knocks up everybody. He has so much damage, so much healing, and so much shields, and like all his abilities scale off of his crit chance and attack speed and shit and things like that. Where you're just sitting there like, why is this a thing? And like honestly, like I'm fine with it to an extent. I ban Yone every game, so I'm not necessarily fine with it, but. I'm fine with these champions becoming more and more ingenuitive and better and cooler and nicer. But then the old champions aren't. And they're not getting even close to as much attention as the new ones get. And that is where this is brought up. Like, fucking hell. Like, she attacks you, lowering your stats and increasing hers. Like, this attacks very slowly but temporarily steals a portion of her target's armor and magic resist to deal bonus damage based on the amount stolen. Additionally, Rell can siphon resistance from multiple different foes to grow extremely tanky, meaning if she attacks multiple champions, she's going to grow even stronger. You know, her Q, where she can just launch or stab forward. Okay, it seems like a basic ability, but it does more damage to the second person hit. And like if she has someone bound, they recover health. Like, and more health, the more people they're hit. And it breaks shields. So like right here, not only does this proc her passive, but it also heals the person that she's connected with her E. It just automatically breaks their shields. And I don't have another point, but like that's what I'm saying. Where like I can hit multiple targets, so she could hit 5 people. Because of that, she now is more tanky. She now does more damage to you because she's tankier, which in my own way just doesn't really make much sense. She does more damage to the last enemy hit, which is something it really doesn't say here, but from the people I know that are in the PBE said that. Then you know her got a W. She has 2 different Ws in one ability. That she literally just jumps forward and slams down, knocking up enemies, or she can get a mount and then fling them over her shoulder. Like Urgot. And again, in her tankier form, she's slower, but then she's even more tanky. So not only is she going to be tanky from, auto-attacking and queuing you, but then she gets even tankier if she's actually in her armored form. Now, yes, she's going to be slowed, but that also just means that when she jumps into, many enemies, when they start hitting her, it's not going to matter. She's just not going to care as much. She'll be tanky. And then, let's say you ignore her like a tank, like you should to a tank, and you start running away. Then now, yeah, it is like a 6-something second cooldown. But by the time you start team fighting, she should at least have 20% CDR. So that means now she's going to have, only like a 4 or 5 second cooldown. Maybe it has a point or 2 in the ability, meaning she can use it even faster. And then, yeah, she'll have like the second one where she can mount up. And then she'll stun the first person she hits and gain her normal amount of movement speed, so she'll be more useful. And then her E. This E is literally just Taric, the ability. You are entirely Taric. This ability is Taric's W, Q, and E. All in one. It heals the enemies if she hits people with her Q. It gives them resistances, like both armor and magic resist, just from being connected, and she can recast it to stun enemies in both areas. Can recast this spell to break and bind and stun all enemies around both her and her bound ally. Meaning, if you have an assassin on top of your squishy ADC, they're now stunned. And let's say she dove into the fight, now you're stunned and the assassins are stunned. So it's like, how is that balanced? This is literally Tariq's entire kit, and he was reworked pretty recently. Tariq's entire kit in one singular ability. And then, let's go to the R, which, I can see this being the most broken, ridiculous thing ever. It's literally a Skarner and a Orianna ult in one, where she just pulls in allies or enemies and keeps pulling them even as she moves. Now it doesn't interrupt, meaning they can flash, you can dash, you can use abilities, and you could probably try to walk out of it, but just the excessiveness of it pulling you means that you're definitely not going to get out just by base movement speed. So all she has to do is, E her ally, jump in with her W, alt, pull them towards this direction. Just throw a Q or two in there, auto attack me a couple times, then W again, knock someone up, and let's say someone got through or they dashed away, and now you have to do is re-click your E, and now all the people you just pulled in with your ult are stunned, and the people that just got past you to your ADC are also stunned. Well, I'm looking at this being like, this is the most ridiculous thing the world has ever seen. I'm sorry, but I see this champion being overplayed and broken as can be the second she's released. And I've also heard that she has amazing AP scaling, meaning if you build her full AP one-shot mid, you could do it, and it can work. So I'm just looking at this being like, this is dumb. This is really dumb. This is going to be stupid. And this is just the epitome of what I was saying with new champions, where old champions just need an overhaul. And these new champions are just going to get played more and more and more. I can't say I haven't seen in game with, I've seen Akali every game. I've seen Aurelia a lot. I haven't seen that many Camille's, but whenever I do, they usually one-shot me and just do a stupid amount of damage. I've seen a lot of Yones. I've seen a lot of Yasuos. A lot more Yones than Yasuos. And they're just unkillable. Kayn, who's also pretty reasonably new. I'm pretty sure he's a year or two old, honestly, but still reasonably new. Ton of Kayns. Now, the Kayn's a bit more of just being broken right now. Same with Ornn, because he can upgrade mythic items for whatever reason, because that's balanced. I'm just looking at this and this is the problem right here. This is the issue. This is not, I'm not saying dumb down the champions, and I think that the kit sounds like a blast, and I would love to play this champion. It seems like they are tanky as can be, CC for 10 years, and reasonably mobile. Right up my alley, if only she did a little bit more damage. But this would definitely be a great support that I would love to play. The only problem is, yet again, there is no reason to ever play Tariq ever again. Ever. Because this is Tariq right here. Heals, gives armor and resistances, stuns. The only thing it doesn't do is give invulnerability like Tariq R. That's literally it. But Tariq's Q through E is this entire ability. And, you could try to argue with that and be like, oh, there's differences here and there, blah, blah, blah. But, at the same time, that's why people would say overloaded kit. Because Tariq heals with his Q, and yeah, it gets a bigger heal the more you let it save up, and that's not the same here. This is just hitting people with your Q heals the people that you're connected to. But it's just insane. Oh, and you can cast your E and R during the jump. And I just, because yet again, like lowering the enemy's resistances right here and doing more damage remember that. Breaking shields, which isn't the biggest thing in the world, but yet again, that's a direct counter to Lulu, Janna. Does Soraka give? Honestly, a ton of ADCs right now because, you know, the newer item, Immortal Shield Bow, right there. Bloodthirster. There's even a rune that gives you shields. That's immediately just gone. It's gone now. Plus that also heals your allies. So the whole thing that I was talking about with this is literally also Rakan Q, only even faster because now you can directly connect to the person that you want to heal before you even do it. And it procs her passive, meaning it's going to lower their resistances and, you know, increase your damage. And then you have a dash. Okay, or not go. A dash that knocks up. Or a dash that stuns by flipping you over their shoulder, which is going to then be more considered a knock up again because you're in the air. And, you know, not to mention it's going to increase your resistances. And again, that's just Urgot's E. And then I said, like, Tark's entire kit. Like, I want to give my... I want to heal. I want to give resistances. And I want to stun. Okay, there's 3 different things in one ability right there. And it's a big-ass AoE stun. It's not a little one. That's literally Jax. Imagine having 2... Okay, can you transfer over, please? Thank you. Imagine having 2 different Jax Ws. Just, you know, it's a little even faster. Now, yeah, you don't have the resistances from auto attacks that Jax does, but still got the stun off. Plus, you get the bonus resistances to your ally and healing. And then there's just this. Like, I'm looking at this, and the only thing I'm thinking is this champion is going to dive into 5 people and come out alive, and her team is just going to one-shot as this is happening. That was a lot louder than I expected it to be. So, yeah, I'm sorry that you guys had to hear me rant for like 20 minutes. And, you know, I can understand, but I really do think that this is really stupid. And I like the kit, and I do like how they're becoming more and more better with their kits and just making them overall better and having more aspects and multiple play styles and things like that. But it's really making playing older champions like Veigar kind of difficult, or Nasus, or I guess they still have their place. They still are always going to be played to at least some extent because, you know, I love playing Veigar still, and with the new items I do still one-shot people. But you put me up against a mid lane Zoe, and like I can beat the Zoe, but the Zoe can one-shot me just like easier than I can one-shot her for most of the game. Put me up against Italia, and yet again she can one-shot me a lot easier than I can one-shot her. Aurelion Sol is kind of like 50-50. That really depends. Like, I can't even tell you the last time I saw a Jinx. Oh, man. Well, I really do think that, like, some of these old champions just really need a good, hard, and someone just needs to look at him and be like, okay, let's rework this bitch. But, yeah. I hope you enjoyed, and yeah, so thank you all very much for watching. Please leave a like, subscribe, leave a comment down below if you agree or disagree. I will gladly respond back to it. If you guys, like, if you do agree or disagree with me, you know, maybe explain like what you're thinking or something along those lines. And yet again, like I'll get back to it as soon as I see it. I try to check the comments every single day, but maybe something might slip by or something along that line, which I am sorry if that does happen. So yeah, thank you, and I bid you all adieu. Goodbye.
We will send unto them only you. Rip and tear until it is done.